Good evening and welcome to the Brick Cave podcast. My name is Bob Nelson and I'm your host for the evening, or at least for this particular audio segment that you'll be enjoying. And you may have noticed that I'm not going to introduce anybody else. Oh my goodness, where is Jen? Where did she go? Well, I have some news for you, and it's actually really good news because we've got an opportunity and we shifted Jen to a new podcast. Yes. So there's going to be a new podcast. It's actually not going to be a Brick Cave podcast. It's going to be a podcast run by our sort of sister organization called Proxima Emporium. And we've set up a website called bibliophyte.com. And how this is going to work is we've partnered Jen with two other avarice readers. Those two readers being David Rybecki and Patience Phones. You may know her as the owner of Bonnie Books. We've done a lot with her. She's been on some videos with me. We've had a really good time. Anyway, we kind of decided that we wanted to do something a little bit different. So this particular new podcast that we'll be launching at the end of January is a competition. And you've got to go to the site. So you want to go to bibliophyte.com and you want to kind of read through it and see how it works. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So these guys are going to read these books that are chosen and they're going to talk about them in the podcast. So, and then there's a whole element of how well each book does for the month and winners and not so much winners and stuff like that. So check it out, bibliophyte.com. And I'm sure my splendid voice will probably pop in every once in a while as they either make fun of me or call me out for some ridiculous thing that I'm doing, because I will be the recording engineer for that podcast. So sorry that I don't have Jen with me tonight. So, but let's we'll carry forward. We'll struggle. We'll make it work. So, I want to talk to you first tonight about our Patreon. So we have a Patreon, as does pretty much any other creator in the universe. Our Patreon is cool because it's Brick Cave. And it gives you the opportunity to get free books. It'll give you the opportunity to watch free videos as we start to produce them. It'll give you the opportunity to get free discounts. So we have, and I'll talk about this a little bit later, a new program called Guerdons. And being a part of the Brick Cave Patreon will give you the opportunity to help us spread those Guerdons far and wide and give people discounts on Brick Cave books. But I'll talk about that when we get to that portion of the podcast. It's really a fun, and it also includes a separate podcast that I record on Friday nights, a little less formal, sort of a, hey, where you're on the inside with me, and where I kind of recap the week and kind of tell the patrons what's happening out on the web for Brick Cave and events and that kind of thing. So you can definitely be a part of something special if you're a part of the Brick Cave Patreon. And I didn't mention this, but you can do it for as little as $1 a month. So surf on over there, patreon.com/brickcavemedia, and you'll be able to kind of see each of the giving levels, if you will, and support that. Really would help us out, and certainly gives you a lot more access to all things Brick Cave. Happy to announce our newest book, the book we relaunched just a week ago, Louise Robertson. And that's really just a fantastic book. The Experiment Known as Rosemary Hernandez Williamson. It's a science fiction book. It's the story of the first person born off Earth and her struggles and the struggles that are put upon her and just kind of what that would be like to be the first person that's not born on Earth, and all of that brings to the table. Great book. We've been working on this one for a long time. We just put it out. Would love for you to pop over to brickcavemedia.com. You can actually get a copy today. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it over at Barnes & Noble. You can just have a good time and get it wherever you want, like to get your books. Clearly, of course, as a bias, we would love for you to go to brickcavemedia.com and pick it up there. If you happen to be in the Ohio area, Louise's sort of roaming grounds, if you will, I know that she is planning a book launch for the end of the month. So you are welcome to find her on Facebook or Twitter. She's really easy to find. And find out what the details are when that book launch will be, and be there and get her to sign it for you. We're excited. We love this book. This is a great story to tell. I think it's very well told. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't want to give away, but at the same time, I want to tell you all about it. So you're just gonna have to go order one because it's worth ordering, as is every book on the Brick Cave website. So. If you have read any of our books, so if you've visited us at one of our events and you've bought a Brick Cave book and you are like, hey, I really liked that book, send us an email. Send me an email here and I'll read them on the podcast. So podcast@brickcavemedia.com is our official website, our official email for the Brick Cave podcast. So you're always welcome to send us your testimonials. You're welcome to send us your reviews. Love to hear how things are going out there, readers. Come on now, let's do this. So that's what we've been up to pretty much for the last week and a half, is really kind of getting some energy behind Louise Robertson's new book, really kind of helping to spread the word, get people excited about it, as excited as we are. And we hope that you give this book a chance and you become a fan of Louise in the same way that a lot of you have become fans of many of our other authors. That being said, speaking of our other authors, we are hosting a series of writing workshops here. They start in February. We're calling them Brick Cave Masters Series 2020. And there are 4 sessions. 2 of those sessions will be hosted by Sharon Skinner. Sharon Skinner, the author of The Healer's Legacy, Collars and Curses. She co-wrote with Joe Junta. Really a fantastic presenter and really a master of her craft. So she's going to be hosting 2 of those sessions. And then the other 2 will be hosted by none other than Bruce Davis, Dr. Bruce. So if you want to learn you want to learn better storytelling. You want to learn more precise and impactful and kind of really get to the meat of what good writing is. And you're in, the Arizona area, you're in Phoenix, Mesa, East Valley, West Valley, whatever. You can check it out. Just go online to Brick Cave Media into the store because you register. The sessions are $40 a piece, or you get a discount if you just do all 4 of them together. And you can register for them. There are a limited number of seats, so we have a room for about 35 people, I think is what the limit is on that. So feel free to check them out. There are descriptions for each of the 4 sessions. I think the first session is Bruce's session called Making It Real, which is whether it's getting medical details right, understanding how cavalry really works, or getting the police and military procedures correct. The writer needs to know enough basics to give the reader accurate information without going overboard. How much detail and where can you learn this stuff? That's what Bruce is going to teach you in the first session. So really a solid set. The others are equally impactful. Sharon's first session, which will happen in February, is Baptism Under Fire, how the character and plot work together to forge a satisfying ending. And writers love nowadays to talk about the fact that they are character driven, I'm a great character writer. Well, there's a holistic view that you have to take when you write a book, right? It's not just the character, it's the character, the plot, the setting, all of those elements that need to kind of come together to make that experience the maximum that it can be. So definitely take advantage of that opportunity to talk with some people that really know what they're talking about. So there are 4 sessions in total. You can see the schedule online. We'd love to have you attend those sessions. Our patrons will get, I think we're going to give them some audio from each of the sessions. So if you're not local, you can become a patron and you'll get access to some of the video from those sessions as we record them and kind of edit it down a little bit, and then we'll release it to you. So definitely please take advantage of that. Now let's talk a little bit about promotion. So we here at Brick Cave, we've been doing this for a long time, right? So Brick Cave Media has been around since 2006. We've been publishing books now since about 2010, 2011, kind of late 2010. And we have been looking for new and creative ways to help people discover the books that we publish. We've published somewhere in the neighborhood of 70 books now, between, digital books and physical books and so on and so forth. And we're always looking for a way to kind of bring people into that universe and have them discover really the solid craft of the books that we create. And we think we've done that. We've created a program that we call the Brick Cave Guerdons. And Guerdon meaning sort of reward, sort of gifty type of word. It's a nice kind of play, right? It's got a little bit of a feel of Renaissance to it. But really, it's a coupon program. So what we've done is we've kind of created, I can't call it a currency because it's not a currency, but we've created this sort of coupon system. And you can get these coupons valued at $1, $5, $10, or $20 and use them either in the Brick Cave store online, or you can bring them to us at any of our events. So I think we've got 10 events this year that we're going to be vending at, and we're going to be distributing these Guerdons both online and in person across everywhere, right? So you've got one of these, you want to buy a book, you go online, you put in the code. Each code is only valid once. So basically you spend it and it's gone. So it kind of has a fun little discovery element to it. So don't hesitate to collect those. The physical ones they'll be bookmarky size, and they'll kind of look cool. So you'll want to kind of keep some for your collection, as it were. And anyway, so you're going to use these and you're going to get discounts for Brick Cave stuff. It doesn't have to be just the books. It can be the posters. So we sell the posters. The posters that we give you when you buy books at events, you can buy those online, and you can actually use Guerdons to buy them. And, other stuff like that too. I think I've put the DVD for Sacrifice up on the store, so you can use Guerdons to pick that up if you want. And just anything that we've got out there that you can be a part of. And so it's kind of our way of sharing and giving people the opportunity to take advantage of what we're doing and kind of become a fan of either our authors or some of the other media that we do. The great thing about the Guerdons is that the Guerdons also make any online order free shipping. So not only are you saving the value of the Guerdon, you're also getting free shipping. So it's like plus, right? It's like Apple plus, because 2 pluses are better than 1. So if you want to make sure that you're in the best position to get Guerdons, to either give them to other people or just use them yourself, I'm going to steer you back to the Patreon, because every Patreon member gets Guerdons every month. So we've sent out the first batch to our Patreons this month, and we're going to send them another batch next month, and we're going to send them another batch next month, and they can share them with other people and use them themselves. So it's a great opportunity for you to not just save what you're contributing on the Patreon, but it gives you a chance to share that with other people. And that's kind of what we're hoping for, is to build a community around those. You can also get them every once in a while. We're just going to throw one out, social media. We're just going to say, hey, here's a Guerdon. First person to use it gets the discount. So it gives you really the opportunity to take advantage of that. we're going to give them in events. So physical guerdons, we'll give those at events and people can take them home. Or when they buy a book, we might throw an extra guerdon in there for later that they can use. Maybe they buy the first book in a series. We throw a guerdon in there so they can get the second or third book in the series. And we really kind of are excited about this. And so each guerdon has a cool design featuring a dragon design by Scott Sheehy of Tribe Comics. He did a fantastic job designing these dragons. And these were the dragons that we commissioned from him to kind of update the Brick Cave logo. So, you know, the dragons that represent the three media types that we work in. So audio, video, and print. And you'll find that. You'll see that in each of the guerdons. It's a lot of fun. So you can actually go to brick-cave-guerdons, and you'll kind of see the whole the whole write-up on it and be a part of that. But let's give a guerdon away right now. What do you say? Come on now. I got a trivia question for you. And here's how this is going to work. I'm going to post this podcast tonight. It is Thursday, January 16th. You are going to have until end of day on January 31st, 2020. So if you send an answer to the trivia question to podcast@brickcavemedia.com prior to end of day, January 31st, 2020, your name will go in a hat to be drawn for, let's do a Guerdon 5. So basically it'd be a $5 coupon and gives you free shipping on the website. So we'll draw one. And if let's say a whole bunch of people answer and they want to get in the drawing, then maybe we'll give away a couple. So don't hesitate. Send us an email. Get yourself in the drawing. Here's the deal. Here's the trivia question. I need you to send me in an email the name of the forthcoming book by poet Patrick Hare. What is the name of the forthcoming book by poet Patrick Hare? Again, you have till January 31st, 2020 to get me the answer. Send that answer on email to podcast@brickcavemedia.com and we'll get you in the drawing. And as soon as we get the email, we'll go ahead and drop you back a note, let you know that you're in the drawing, and then maybe we'll do the drawing live. We'll do it on Facebook Live, or we'll record it on video and post it on the YouTube page. So that'll be fun. So how can you, dear listener, you've stumbled upon this podcast, you've gotten to this point with me. I'm 17 minutes in at this point. How can you learn more about Brick Cave? You have no clue what I've just talked about for the last 17 minutes, but somehow I have managed to keep you from hitting stop on the audio. Well, there's a few different ways you can do it. Obvious way is brickcavemedia.com. You can just go there, read the About Us, you can see all the books, you can learn about all the authors, and if you're really interested, you can buy a book. You can also go to patreon.com/brickcavemedia and learn more about our Patreon program and how you can support independent small publishing. Small publishing. All right. And you can join our email list by visiting the website address of newsletter.brickcavemedia.com. So easy. Go there. I've set up a nice little scrolling sort of welcome page, and then you just throw your name and email in there, and you're subscribed. And I believe you may even get a guerdon if you do that. So, like, you can get guerdons everywhere. We're just guerdons growing here and here and there. All right. So what's next? What's coming up next? February 22nd. ASU Desert Nights Rising Stars. That's a festival run out of ASU, and they're doing a one-day sort of book festival event, and we'll be vending there. So you can find Brick Cave Media there. You can also find Brick Cave Media coming up at Tucson Festival of Books. Details on that will be coming in the next couple weeks. In April, you will, of course, find us again in LA at the LA Times Festival of Books, one of our favorite events every year. in June, early June, we're going to head up to the Bay Area. We're going to do the Bay Area Book Festival. So we'll be there. That'll be the first time we've ever been there. So we're kind of excited to get up there. And hopefully we'll connect with some of our readers that had found us when we did the San Francisco Comic-Con a few years ago. So we're looking forward to finding some of them or having them find us. And then we're looking to try to get back into San Diego. Nothing definite on that yet. They haven't announced registration or anything like that. And, we're just kind of going to take it from there. It's a full year of events. We've got all kinds of opportunities for you to buy Brick Cave books. We've got a lot of books in the pipeline. 2 poetry books that I'm hoping to get done in the next few days. And then also we've got a ton of new fiction coming out. Sharon Skinner, Bruce Davis, Joe Junta. All will have new books in 2020. So it's a very exciting time to be with Brick Cave. It's an exciting time to follow Brick Cave. And if you're a reader and you love good books, well, this is going to be a very exciting year for you as a Brick Cave fan. So thank you for taking the time to listen to the podcast. Patrons can always send us questions that we can answer on the podcast. And yet another reason to be a Brick Cave patron. And you can do that when we do the call on the Patreon page. You can send us the questions. We'll answer them here on the podcast. And you are always welcome to join us online on Facebook at Brick Cave Media. You can join us on MeWe because we've been experimenting with MeWe lately. So same thing, Brick Cave Media. We're on Twitter at Brick Cave Media. Instagram at Brick Cave Media. LinkedIn at Brick Cave Media. So pretty much if you just kind of search for us as Brick Cave Media, you're going to find us somewhere socially and you can connect. Thanks again. Thanks for taking the time to be with me. I didn't even get a chance to talk about the news out there, but I'll save that. We'll talk about the news next time. If there's anything that you're interested in this podcast having, whether it's more interviews, whether it's more Jen, whether it's more somebody else, feel free to let us know. Send us a note, podcast@brickcavemedia.com. We're always happy to get your feedback. So take care. Have a great night, and we will talk to you soon.